AP Human Geography is awful to take as a freshman. To be honest, it only does two things. One is introduce you to AP classes and how they work, and the other is to waste your time. But not me, because I chose to not put in any effort, and I still ended up with a 4 on my AP exam. I probably just got mad lucky, but I want to recap what I remember from this class and see if my score is justified or not. Here's the National Geographic definition of AP Human Geography. The Advanced Placement Human Geography course introduces students to the systematic study of... Why? Like, who cares? Who cares? Nobody cares! Nobody cares! Literally nobody gives a single shit about this, bro. Nobody cares. Except Miss Ferg. Thank you, Miss Ferg, for caring. Anyways, I remember the first quiz we took. I was sitting across from James, and our teacher had hyped up this quiz so much to the point where it almost felt like the AP exam itself. So we were both pretty nervous, and our teacher gives us the 1-minute warning. I'd finished most of the questions I knew about, and I don't know how many questions James had left, but he started to absolutely panic, to the point where there was around 5 seconds left, and he wrote his name on the quiz as James Slavu. I don't remember much about the beginning of the class. What I do remember though, is most of the year, we did projects and quizzes and questions and assignments about SDGs. Oh, what are SDGs? Those sound really fun. They're not. I hate SDGs. The 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development.
We do not care.
I'm not even gonna read the rest of this shit because it's so boring. Basically, it's like to make the world a better place. And I get that. That's great. If you're a world leader, a UN member, a peace activist, an environmentalist, that's great. That's great for you. But I don't care. I'm literally a little 15-year-old piece of scum. Let me get my easy vocab quizzes to make mommy happy. Then I'm good. I don't care after that. I don't care about making... Okay, no, I do care about making the world a better place. But like, I also don't. I'm not here for that. Anyways, next point. 90% of the assignments we did in this class somehow tied to the SDGs. They were a pain in the ass. I mean, every unit, every topic. How does this affect SDGs? How do we get rid of STDs? The worst part is that every few weeks, your SDG would change. So you couldn't even focus on one. You learn all about one, and then boom, new SDG, just new SDG over and over again. You never learn anything. Just end it. Just end it all. Just kill. Throughout the year, there was also about 5 assigned reading books that everyone had to read. I didn't. I ended up reading like 2, and they weren't even assigned. But they did tie into my assignments and all that. I despise reading. Not because it's boring or whatever other BS reasons, but it's so slow. There were a few books where the build-up was worth it, and those were the only books I read. I read Alas Babylon, which was really good, and Scythe, which was also pretty good. You know what sucks about reading stuff for school? It's the fact that like whenever you read it, you can't even enjoy it because you're like, oh, I have to look for this thing and I have to tie it in like this. That's all I have to say. However, towards the end of the year, there was this pretty fun project where we had to design a commercial based on one of our SDGs. And of course, James and I made a banger video and got 105 on it because I was like that. I edited the video, James did most of the acting. It was a match made in heaven. That's where you were made too. Haha. Anyways, I specifically remember one other big assignment we had on the second to last week of school. There was this presentation I was supposed to give over any one of my SDGs throughout the year, and me being the slacker I am, I hadn't worked on it, and of course I had to present it in 2 days. It was Monday of that week, and I had to present on Wednesday. But earlier in the month, I had signed up to be a nice little guy and volunteer at a pool with my swim team to lifeguard and help out. Monday, we were supposed to finish up our presentations. What did I do? I don't remember. Probably mess around and make my teacher cry again. Tuesday was a practice run of presentations where you presented to a bunch of people, but the teachers weren't watching you. Naturally, I'm used to making a fool out of myself, but I figured if I sounded confident enough, I could improv my presentation on the spot. So I did just that for the practice run. I genuinely had little clue what I was talking about because the research I did consisted of a few bullet points from Google and some information about a book I was supposed to read. Most people agreed that my presentation was confident, but I had no clue what I was talking about. So I went home stressing about how I was going to make this presentation work. And I ultimately decided that I would rely on my skills to gaslight my teacher into thinking I knew what I was talking about. I had forgotten about helping out at the pool until I was reminded Tuesday night. So Wednesday, while other people were presenting, I was at the pool handing out popsicles. I came back Thursday and I found out my teacher wasn't there. I even thought I could make it to the weekend without presenting. Friday rolls around and I see her in class. She doesn't say anything about me not presenting. And I think, yes, I've made it. I dodged a major grade assignment. I go by the rest of my day so happy and carefree. It was lightly raining outside when the bell rang, but I walked out the doors and waited for my bus. I look up from my phone for 1 second and I see her red hair piercing the crowd. She makes eye contact with me. My heart begins pounding. This is it. She's gonna shoot me for all the pain I've caused her this year, for skipping the presentation, for everything. She starts to close the distance between us, and I could have sworn the rain got heavier as she got closer to me. Bogdan, you know you never presented, right? So you should do it right now, in the rain. I heard nothing but the rain in that moment. Panic flooded my body, but I wouldn't disappoint. I launched myself into presentation mode, and I began to gaslight my teacher into believing that I knew what I was talking about. I come back on Monday. I walk into second period. I see my teacher. I ask her, hey, what did I get on my presentation? Does that even actually count? She gives me a paper rubric. On it are 2 numbers. 9-0. I got a 90. For a 30-second presentation, I basically made up on the spot. I put in 2% of the effort and got an A. I don't know if it was because she was burnt out at the end of the year from grading all the other assignments. I don't know if it was actually good enough for her to believe what I was talking about. Regardless, that's a win. A win is a win. Honestly, looking back on it, I remember the bad parts of this class. The suffering, the angst. But at the end of the day, I find that experiencing it with my friends and making fun where it felt like there wasn't supposed to be any elevated the memories I have about this class. So thank you, Miss Madewell and Miss Ferg, for putting up with my shenanigans this year. Do I really deserve my 4 on the AP exam? No, definitely not. I barely put in any effort, let's be honest. I mean, the people that I actually did put in effort, they got 5s and all that. But I'm happy with my grade. So I guess what I'm trying to say, in a really corny way, is that it's not about the destination, but the journey itself. The journey of getting to that AP test is far more memorable than the AP test itself or the score anyone got. Just remember to relax every once in a while. Take it easy. Enjoy the time with your friends. And with all that said, I love Mr. Sin. Thank you for watching. I know I always say this, but hopefully I can actually make some more videos soon. I have like 1 or 2 big ones. I have a bunch of scripts written. But again, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, comment, whatever. Share this with your friends, your family, your dog, your cat, your mom. Oh! Water polo part 2. Maybe.